Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the English coverage of the MDL Changsha Major. We're going to have three new faces on the panel today. One professional with high-tier analysis, and these two handsome dudes. How are you guys doing, BSJ and Josh?
Oh,
Wait, what?
I thought you were introducing him first.
Yeah, I thought I was the professional analyst here.
My bad.
I don't know, man. Okay, I was being told I was being wound up to be, or hyped up to be some awesome analyst, and then I just get told I'm here for my face.
Pretty much.
I got nothing. That's
Neither
just
do I.
that's just deep in
That
the.
was it, guys. That'll be all. We can roll back to the break.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is NA Trio.
Indeed.
It's very
Number
2.0.
Everybody thought, it's coming last match of the day, coming around this nighttime for both us and China. It's going to get weird, right?
5:30
no.
is the pinnacle of my existence.
Keeping this real,
Yeah.
You've got really big pants to fill in Grand.
I actually have really small pants.
Yeah, I was about to say, his pants are
they're
pretty tight.
They're pretty restricting. I'm not feeling Grant shoes, man. Grant shoes are floating with beautiful angel wings up here, singing and shouting random quips that I don't know where they come from. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Grant's a great man.
Indeed. I think we have the team walk-ons about to come up. This is going to be probably the match I was looking forward to the most. I'm really glad I'm on for this series because I'm a big fan of both LGD and TNC, and I think this is going to be by a tier the best Dota we'll see today.
Who's your money on?
I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to say?
Bets.
Okay, so
But
what if I turn over to your boy Brian Cannon here?
Yeah,
Who's
the real analyst
Yeah,
of this panel. I'm thinking that TNC is actually going to take this series because I feel like they have been playing a lot of unpredictable things, albeit maybe not to flawless execution. As you said, that this game is going to come a lot more down to play rather than the draft. And I think LGD has struggled a little bit this tournament because people have kind of figured them out a bit. I feel like people have been targeting Ame with their bans. I think TNC might do just that. And I'm ready to be thrown off guard by TNC's draft and not with a fourth pick Wyvern and a no good Wyvern counters. Or like heroes that Wyvern counters. Because that's what they did
talking
yesterday.
about earlier how
2
they
days ago.
Who was it that he was playing where they banned out 6 Ame heroes? So you ended up getting
Yeah,
stuck
that
with
was
like a troll
VG.
pick.
That was VG that did that
Yeah.
against LGD.
And you
that,
said it was successful twice.
Yeah,
right?
they were forced to pick CK for Ame, who he played it a lot more like a farming hero. And I will say this right now. I think Ame is probably one of the best, if not the best, at the heroes he plays. Like at the Gyros, Lunas, Slarks, these type of heroes. But if you put him on these heroes that can't comfortably, independently farm, I think it really takes him out of his comfort zone. And I want to look for LGD to pick those heroes early on if TNC begins to ban Ame's heroes. Because what would happen was when VG did it, they just banned 6 Ame heroes, and they had not picked Ame's hero by the end. So by that point, he was so limited in his hero pool and they just ended up having to pick heroes that didn't fit the game or didn't fit his playstyle.
Yeah, they picked CK in one and Troll in the other.
Yeah.
And then I think to further your point, LGD is kind of suffering from being that top dog in China. And
Yeah.
They have been for a little while now from DSA through Epicenter. So a lot of what they open with, a lot of their heroes, as you said, they're figured out. So they've continued to pick, Skywrath Axe a couple of times at this event, but they've lost with it both times in the bracket stage. They actually went 1-1 against TNC in groups, as you'll see them announced right here. RML, one of the, arguably the most, but definitely one of the top 3 best mid players in SEA right now.
Oh, yeah. Look at that,
That
watch.
watch.
See that
Yeah,
ice,
I was just thinking
ice
that,
on his wrist.
that bling.
The glasses push up. That's good.
Dude,
Raven,
I
big
want
Raven
glasses
fan
just
here.
for that move.
Yeah, just the push up really
Yeah,
quick.
exactly.
You got to get those thick frame though,
You see, there's this video on YouTube about some kid getting bullied. He pushes his glasses up and then does a judo takedown right away, and just like.
So you're telling me if I get glasses, I'll be able to do just that?
No, only if you push them up properly
Oh, I don't know how to do that yet, so
it's
gotta
like a
work
power
on that.
move, It's like those hand moves from
The
Naruto,
power
you know?
move.
Like,
Yeah.
people are gonna. I don't know.
I don't know. Glasses make gamers more intimidating. Like
That's
FY looks like he's already a good-looking dude, but now he's just intimidating.
Really shapes the face,
Scary. It says I mean business. Like
No.
I
Not
know
like
how to party.
accounting.
I know how to party. Like I've got the party guy, like the party boy face. But now I'm ready here for business.
I'm just glad. I'm sitting here talking about Dota. You guys are focusing on your area of expertise.
Yes,
Looking
looking good.
Sunglasses.
Looking good. Take notes, Kyle.
Hope Twitch chat's paying attention.
And so now back to this Dota. What beautiful insight you got for us this time?
I think the better team is gonna win.
You know what? I think that there's a chance the losing team may bring it back in their favor for a brief period. And it may even look like they're going to win it. But in the end, the winning team will pull through.
Because there's got to be a winner and a loser.
As a
I'm
Raven
supposed to
fanboy,
be the guy that doesn't know how to analyze?
What'd you say? Yeah. Want to do a jig?
Any draft predictions as far as openers go?
I'm really looking at the Wisdom again. And I think Gyro will be heavily contested this series, despite the fact that we've been talking about we think these other heroes are better to prioritize. I think both teams love playing Gyro.
You want a football analogy real quick? Put some thought into this, okay?
Give me that.
There's this
sports ball
new
analogy?
method of play calling the Patriots have been using for like their entire existence, or at least the Brady era, called the Earnhardt-Perkins. All right.
Okay.
And instead of calling out specific plays, it is a way to essentially, no matter what formation you're running, have people fill in the gaps and essentially run like to fulfill their role. Okay. And I think that these two teams, and a lot of the successful teams in Dota, are employing a similar Dota 2 theory of this, which is that no matter what heroes they play,
they still have the same jobs.
what the formation looks like, the players are in the same position and they have the same goal from game to game. And both these teams are very simple. LGD, you're building around Ami and Maybe. TNC, it's the Raven and Armel show. And they always play around these players, draft them positions to succeed, and everyone sort of plays around their movements. And I think it's part of the reason LGD was so dominant, DAC and Epicenter. And to your points, part of why they're having difficulties is because people are just banning out all of Ame's comfort heroes, which then takes LGD completely out of its comfort zone just because this one player is no longer doing what he usually does.
Well said. And that's where you end up with these Axe Sky openers and these wonky things. And you see they seem to like value Bane pretty highly here. You see him open with the DP or the Night Stalker, or even a Clock in one of these games that worked out for them actually. Last time versus TNC.
Thing is, my concern is I don't know if like those heroes even matter as much as it is what is Ame playing. Like in the upper bracket versus Vici, he's playing. There's this Gyro game, which was a near impossible Gyro game. He was against Bane and Underlord, and then they take a Jug in the second game. And I've never seen Ame play Jug in my life, and it just doesn't really fit their style. I think he wants to be on something that has a lot more potential to either accelerate throughout the mid game or just like be a Terrorblade.
So you're saying the Jug should be the Terrorblade, or the Terrorblade should be
I mean, was Terrorblade even banned? I mean, Terrorblade's just kind of bad now. That's the problem.
Yeah, he was like, they were straight up first picking him Terrorblade for all the patch where Terrorblade was good. And I feel like, I personally, I don't know about you, but I would rather than pick him a comfort zone hero first round, maybe just ban out a couple counters. Like, if they want to pick Gyro, I think what happened was they first picked Gyro, and then the other team just picked Bane Clock. And that was their immediate response. It's just like, Clock offers the gank threat, Bane just enfeebles you as the game goes on. It makes it really hard to play Gyro, and I think that I would rather see them just pick one of Ame's heroes first round and then just ban a couple counters and give him a game that's at least remotely decent. And rather than waiting for his pick to be later on.
Yeah, rather than waiting and hoping that they can get a pick that'll fill that gap, they're just going to, play around something they've at least tried once before.
Coming from a player who understands what it's like, to only want to play about 5 heroes, that I think you play those 5 heroes better, even in a rough game, than you do play these extra heroes in a good game.
That's really how you feel.
Yes.
Well, how do you feel, sir?
I've watched a lot of BSJ games. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, what about Ame? What about this man? I'd say from
just joshing around. I think to go back to the whole Ame discussion, that game, the deciding game against VP at DAC, first pick Terrorblade into Omni Knight second. And I just don't know if you can get away with stuff like that anymore. And if you can, it's got to be with new cores. I think what Newbie did in that previous game is a great example of like the Disruptor Lycan. They had probably 3 players that would have been comfortable on it, and it just sort of fulfills the same role that a TB did previously, where he's just playing a part, maybe looking to connect, fight around an objective, but other than that, he's just ricing the map and eventually just crushing through objectives, and I think that's going to be the name of the game here.
Yeah, I think Lycan will be highly sought for this series. A lot of teams have just been saying, if we just pick this early pushing hero, Lycan DP, it just makes our draft easier to round off, and we can put it in any role. We've seen DP all 3 lanes. We've seen Lycan all 3 lanes. We're back to that meta of just like pick a hero that has a distinct job and throw it there, and maybe later on in the draft we'll figure out what role we want to put it on based on how countered it is, based on the lane matchups. And I don't know, Lycan has gotten so many buffs indirectly by the item changes that I don't know, the hero seems really scary.
Oh, and to your point, we got information during the break that Crimson Guard was bugged and unpurgeable
for a while.
For
when it was supposed to be.
For like the entire existence of the item.
And then they fixed it recently.
Yeah, so now it should be dispellable. So technically we were both right because
I mean, Kyle's
it said it was dispellable and it didn't. It wasn't. It wasn't for like a year. Like how long has that been?
Imagine trying to deal with this on a regular basis. Can't handle it.
All right. So
oh, there you go.
Now we got the draft, boys. TNC up to pan first. We've been talking about this. What's she smiling at?
Nothing,
man. Nothing happened.
Let's just focus on the draft.
Focus on the game.
Right? What do you think is going to come out
You got
next?
some notes. I heard your notes earlier. You would have nailed the draft.
I should have done it.
Yeah, what are your notes here? What do we got,
Well,
man?
currently, I mean, this isn't applicable. The big one is TNC's been banning out this DP, which you were saying was going safe lane a lot, and Lycan's going to be in high contention. I have a feeling there's going to be a Lycan. It's not going to get banned out here. It's going to get picked one or the other.
I don't think that's a TNC hero, so they must have something to answer with. And I know they love their Timbersaw, which is a great like encounter, but then there's a Spirit Vessel in the game, which nobody seems to want to buy, even though I say it over and over. But
I like the Doom ban. I'll say that right off the bat.
There's still a Wisp, which I imagine someone's got to take out, but I don't know. We'll see. Some teams think that hero's broken. Some don't value it at all. I don't know if I've seen TNC play it.
I mean, TNC has banned or picked it every game this event, I believe. It's either been banned by them or the opponents, or they've picked it.
Yeah.
In every single game. So I have a feeling you are right on that.
It was, yeah, you're correct. Yep, there it is. TNC being first pick, of course. The Sand King, last ban. They obviously have a target. LGD does, rather. They're taking out 3-4 heroes.
I like Bane here. Oh, they actually first picked the Lycan. I was thinking Bane would be kind of like a deny to Gyro Lycan, but they just actually just...
I think the Lycan is more so, because if you pick Bane and they just go Lycan, you're just kind of screwed, I feel.
Yeah.
I go back to, like, the same way Terrorblade was previously. You need this hero in the patch that guarantees your ability to take objectives. Because right now, it just feels like that OG newbie, that first game, is a perfect example of how if you lose this one fight to the wrong lineup, you just can't win. I think the
there's the DP.
There you go. The what was the game we watched? The BO1. Who the hell was even playing? It was the Miracle team versus.
You were watching
LGD. Yeah, LGD versus IGV.
Yeah.
That game was unwinnable for IGV for about 40 to 50 minutes, and it's because they, no matter how many pickoffs they get, no matter what they do, they're never going to be able to threaten structures.
So I like the Bane pick, but the DP, like I feel like DP is traditionally countered by Lycan because of the Necrobook 3 purging the Yules. She doesn't really have a counterplay to just getting ran at.
Skywrath. Oh.
And I think Lycan, most importantly, is a hero that you need to give him a remotely decent game until level 5. Like if he's bullied out of lane prior to level 5, his game's super awkward, and I think Skywrath Mage is a good option. I think a lot of teams have opted for Bane. I think we saw in that game that you casted, they just went Bane like an opener, right? And I think just giving him a hero that secures his lane, and they've already said with LGD, they're saying, we're picking Bane, we're going to put like a strong dual lane in your face, and Skywrath Mage is a great hero for that, to counter the Bane early game. Skywrath Mage kind of gone up in value, I think, this patch, because supports kind of just sit in lanes. And Skywrath Mage loves harassing and spamming his Arcane Bolt. And they go Brewmaster Band, very good hero against Lycan. You can purge all of his summons. It's like, what is it, 2,000 damage or something? 1,000 damage in an AoE, that AoE purge. And also, the mischance is one of the few ways that you can make a hero with 75 damage not hit creeps in the laning stage. And that's all Lycan wants to do, is hit creeps.
You see these Lycans, like the last game that we casted, the newbie versus IG game, where this Lycan didn't have any points in Howl. It was just wolves in his passive, and he was just smacking away at the creeps and the opponent in his lane, focusing on nothing but last hits.
And that's been the new build, because the level 3 wolves are just so good for laning, and since the lanings are so important, like if you just get that cripple, it's like, what is it, 40 attack speed? It's unplayable for almost every offlaner to try to trade with you at that point.
Yeah, you're just hitting lanes. Name of the game. I think pro teams might want to play more turbo. Because that's where you really learn that, as we discovered on the caster stack the other night. You just sit in lanes. Just farm those creeps.
Yeah. Roaming Spirit Breaker level 2 and turbo is not the way to play, guys.
It's not the same It's not the way you want to do in professional Dota either. That's the problem. It's just because deaths are so undervalued, or not undervalued rather, but they just don't mean much. So if Skywrath shows up in a lane, spams bolt 11 times, dies, TPs back to base to do it again, you're effectively forcing the enemy to spend as much on regen as they're going to get from killing you.
I'm calling the one-shot crit on a Skywrath before the end of this game.
Could be an FY Kunkka. They did this previously with the Bane 5. Like the OD, this is
snap pick OD.
TNC did this exact same draft, but with a clockwork in between the OD and the Sky in the game they played against Vega. That's the only time they played something similar to this, which is kind of scary to me because while they dumpstered that game, Vega kind of lost every match at this tournament.
Kind of. Not.
They did.
They did. Obviously, I like OD in these situations where you can have multiple
5 seconds remaining.
Uses for the save of the Astral. And OD Lycan's pretty good because Lycan does the lane objective taking while OD does the superior fighting, and I love the Omni pick.
Into OD, you like Omni?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think OD crushes Omni. You just ignore the GA completely.
I like it as a deny pick, is what I was going to say.
Okay,
that makes
I'll
sense.
give you that. I just
feel like Omni for TNC was super good. Against the Kunkka, against, like, for the team fight with the OD.
I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't like it at all. I feel like you're putting yourself in a really tough position as LGD. I said, like, it's Armel and Raven you got to play around in. You're just giving this OD, like, the most incredible game already.
Yeah.
I just fear whenever Armel's on a win condition hero, especially when you consider that he is, like, the save against Bane Kunkka as well, I don't think you can core the Kunkka anymore with this lineup either. Kunkka DP Omni cores, like, at a certain point, don't you just lose?
I'm fine with them making it a support because weren't they the team that did it earlier?
Yeah, that was FY.
Okay. We won't see any one-shots then. That was exciting. The DK full to 0. Who do we want for TNC here?
I mean,
Don't sound too excited.
They picked their 3-4 here. Can be pretty much whatever they want. They could theoretically throw the Skywrath up top with whoever they offlane, but I'm not sure I'm a fan of it. I think you just pick two bruisers, run them at the offlane, bully this Bane.
Is there any 4 stunners left?
Not really.
Sand King, Clockwork,
four of them were
Nyx.
banned out.
Oh, there's
a
kind
BT.
of a stunner.
That could also be a core ET. You never know.
I feel like the only reason they'll make it as a core is because they have a 4-position hero that can stun, but they need a stun.
Yeah. They've banned a lot of Tim's hero pool, though. I mean, Bounty banned out by themselves, and then 4/4s taken out by LGD. So I would agree that that's probably the player that has the most limited hero pool on TNC, and I think that the heroes he plays that have the highest impact are those first 3 bans. He is the guy that provides the
I like the Beastmaster ban.
Yeah, their draft is untenable if they get that as well. Like, look at the pressure they'd be able to output, the damage amp. Like, they can just mow down LGD.
They need a stun though, in my opinion. What about like an Enigma or something?
Nah. You need something that plays fast. You're going to have like an OD. You just get something that can sort of eat creeps and play with the Skywrath. It's probably just an Axe, honestly. I don't think it's the ideal pick, but they need something that provides real lockdown. And
I do like the Axe. You do have the Sky. It's obviously not perfect, but like you said.
Ooh, or Slardar.
That could be.
I think you got to ban maybe PL here. I'm a bit scared of like Slark as well, though. You want something.
If you're gonna pick Axe, you're not scared of Slark.
True, but LGD's last pick is gonna be something they can repel that just like wins them the game. Troll, okay. I don't know if that's the hero I'd find the scariest, but it definitely crushes through a Lycan. I just feel like TNC is gonna have this window in the mid game where they have some sort of initiation item on the OD, and the Lycan's gonna be able to just tear through buildings. But
I like Axe a lot just because it counters a lot of the heroes that go well with Omni. That's my
yeah, I can
advanced
agree.
analysis of this.
I think whenever you're playing against Omni, having some sort of repel, piercing, disable is key. We've seen many drafts where that isn't present, and then all of a sudden that repelled hero is just essentially walking around with double BKB for the entire game.
LGD's turn to pick.
I don't know if I love that. I mean, it makes their 5-man incredibly scary to walk into, but at the same time, they don't really have a way to force things other than making you come to them because they're hitting buildings.
This isn't really the TNC style that we've seen throughout the past year.
I mean, the thing is LGD isn't really all too mobile here. They're not going to have this DP or this Omni running all over the map, splitting up this TNC team.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry to interrupt you there. I agree that if they just have a hero that forces you to chase it around, I think it's really good. But at the same time, that one game we saw with TNC that we said they have no on-paper way to deal with these heroes. And then they just ran at you with 5, and you couldn't stop them. That was something LGD may be considering here as a hero like Slark is vulnerable just getting walked at by 5 heroes. And you don't output enough damage in the mid-game to fend off these 5 heroes. But with the DP Ultimate, Kunkka Boat, as well as just Omni, I feel like their ability to fight, even with a hero like Slark, is there.
I strongly disagree.
There you go.
What?
Now we polarize right now. Now we got a winner and a loser.
If we disagree,
now that's
there's
defined.
only one way to solve this, chat.
So, but who is it though? They've
That's
got this troll is banned out, but that's not all that scary. They need this repel target hero, dishing out damage.
But they need to do shit in the mid game. It has to actually be able to cause a fight.
Mobile.
There's 3 strength heroes and an OD on the enemy team. I don't know. I think they might end up picking. You could go like some sort of life stealer, but that just seems bad. Jug seems bad.
Jug sounds.
I'd rather a Luna, but Luna just gets crushed in this game as well. I honestly don't know. I feel like that's part of the reason LGD is taking so long to make this decision because I'm just not sure.
Maybe they're not going to pick like this Ember or something like that. That sounds.
They might
terrible,
just pick a Terrorblade. Honestly, I don't like it
too
much.
ET Underlord.
I mean, it's not great,
that
but
sounds worse than
they
the Ember.
need something that does like real damage. I feel
if they pick Terrorblade, I don't.
It's LGD, man.
You're right.
LGD does what they want. I mean, at least Ame didn't get 6 heroes banned out this game.
I haven't called a single Slark pick this entire. Actually, I called 1.
Was this your call on a Slark pick? Was that
official? I'm
official?
calling Slark right now. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
this
my
is the
Slark.
repel target right here. He's coming in hot.
Yep.
Right.
I don't think it's great, but I think it's the best out of the options they have.
It's gonna be, I think, TB or Life Stealer. Neither are ideal, but that's just a product of the TNC draft.
It's a life stealer.
Wow, Life Stealer into Lycan?
I mean, that's what I mean, but at the same, it's like Life Stealer into Lycan or TP into ET Underlord. That's what you're gonna be choosing up against. It's just a question of what they prefer.
That just feels really clunky. Like I feel like they needed some mobile hero, somebody that could start things and actually get around the map. And now they have this life stealer, which is just yet another hero that wants to sit and farm and exist. And what he now
delivery.
He has rage into repel.
It's like a nice lane counter to Underlord.
Yeah.
It's like a nice lane counter to Underlord, but usually the way Life Stealer ideally lane counters is that he just sits in his lane for like 12 minutes, and I don't feel like he can do that this game.
I don't know.
This Lycan.
ET, but we'll see. The thing I fear is that Omni plus Kunkka, I think, will outlane Lycan, but Skywrath might equalize that unless he ends up dying. I feel like, once again, you're going to have these scenarios where you're just going to lane and no one's going to be happy. These are miserable side lanes for both teams. Mid, DP versus OD. I think that's OD favored. I've heard it's DP favored. I think it really depends on the build.
I mean, you go that orb build, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're probably just going to smack this DP, outlast hit him, and you'll be good.
You maintain like 8 stacks and just outlast hit, but it can go either way. I think the kill potential is a lot easier for LGD, though, if you just land like an X or if he skips Astral, a defensive Astral into...
So what's our official declaration? Who are you calling here, Kyle?
I'm really not sure. I don't like LGD's draft quite as much, but TNC's is very odd to me. It just doesn't fit like that thing I droned on about at the start of the game, which was like how they always seem to have like defined hero roles, and I just don't like it when Sam H and Tims don't have the ability to make plays or moves around the map, and I think LGD is just... They'll just outlast and outlane, but it could go either way. I think this is a very even game. Neither team is 100% happy with the matchups, but...
Bold prediction, Kyle.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to go with TNC because I think the less I understand their draft, the better.
That's true.
And I feel like if I look at a draft and the absolute last pick doesn't even feel like a good pick, it just seems like a draft loss. So I'm gonna go with TNC here.
Now I'm gonna put my metaphorical money, not real money, of course, onto TNC as well. Again, I think mobility is rule one of everything. I think mobility is what wins games now. Outplaying the enemy hero, controlling the pace of the game, and I think that they've got this Lycan, they've got this Underlord. They can death ball down a lane and still get to the other side of the map faster than LGD will ever be able to respond. And I think they're just going to run it.
Yep, I can agree with that. It'll be a good game. I'm excited to watch. Probably the premier matchup of the day. Two teams that, LGD certainly almost guaranteed an invite to TI. TNC on the cusp, but the way they've been playing, Mineski guaranteed an invite. It would be hard to see them not succeeding through the qualifiers.
I like that they're putting the Underlord top, because Underlord's a hero that can kind of get bullied in the safe lane or in the off lane if he gets off to a rough start, but he'll definitely get his levels here, even though there's a Bane Omni.
We've got Skywrath just sitting mid, spamming Arcane Bolt on this DP for now. I wonder what he's going to do once he runs out of mana. I think he just runs right back to base, TP's out somewhere else.
Or dies to Roche. All right, no, that still gives you the long respawn.
So he skilled Essensor at level 1 as well.
Oh,
to just give more mana.
I didn't even notice that.
What a ridiculous...
Coming to pubs near you.
Welcome to Dota 2.
Thank you, Armel.
It's just... I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I don't mind. This is like, I think, the right move from TNC.
They're not really getting any denies, though. Like, the Death Prophet has just as many denies as the two of them combined, so the OD is falling behind in levels.
They're just missing last hits, to be
fair.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. I will say, though, the Underlord up top, this Enfeeble level 1, I mean, it's just... you can see already why these supports are so high value, right? Banja's up to a lane. He spams Enfeeble 4 times. He has 3 mangoes. Another reason these high. Any hero that can immediately impact the early laning phase by utilizing mana spam is going to be great, just because of the Enfeeble.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the mango change. Yeah. And mid, you just have Skywrath spam. It's just spam spells. Bottom
We've
lane.
got some stuff going down bottom lane. Tim's, I think, is just going to walk out of this without any.
Yeah, they're just harassing.
Any hard feelings here.
What a laning phase.
I mean, it seems to be roughly even down this bot lane. It's 11 to 9. It's not terrible.
Yeah, now you got a dual lane mid, but I think this favors the OD Sky. At least for now, I feel like they have a way better. You're just gonna out harass considerably. Sorry, we're gonna just take care of some stuff with Dota TV real quick. Should be working inside the client if anyone's choosing to watch there instead of on Twitch. Yeah. And it's just not really much to say. Game's gonna just be slow, hang out. Will all be about who makes these early rotations the fastest. Keep in mind that LGD's tower pressure is going to be coming solely from this Death Prophet, and TNC pretty much the same, but with a Lycan. However, I think his HOD timing is going to be quite powerful, especially considering there isn't a counterpart on the enemy side that's going to be able to pick that item up. And as we've seen time and time again, it is a very strong, incredibly strong. Oh, top is
Sam H. No, he's fine.
Yeah, heal 2 seconds, otherwise he would have died there for sure.
I've been enthralled by this fast-paced exchange of Firestorm.
Bottom lane, though.
Heals.
ET's going to go down. Last hit from FY. Not the guy you want to get first blood to, especially when he's playing on Kunkka. I feel like it's one of those heroes that you can just take over if he gets a bit of a level advantage going. And that's like the benefit of Lifestealer in the bottom lane. You see already 2 points feast, 1 point open wounds. He doesn't really give a damn about the stomp because it's going to be consistently interrupted by the X torrent of FY. And feast just allows him to trade so effectively, which you need to be able to do against Lycan because of his incredibly high base regen thanks to the Feral Impulse.
And I love the Glove of Haste first, just because all he's doing is CSing. Who needs boots when you just got to hit the guy right in front of you? And I think this will be a Lifestealer Radiance game.
I think you're definitely wrong.
Nice.
Yep. Not even if he builds into an armlet or
I think he
armlet first
beforehand. Yeah,
armlet
first into ready.
I think it's a Radiance game 100%.
Is it before Armlet, you're saying?
Like one small item like Armlet.
Armlet,
okay,
maybe
fine.
a Solar
I'll
Crest.
accept that.
I don't
accept
think a Solar
He might
Crest.
even go Medallion after the Armlet, then Radiance. But I think at some point, if he wants to scale against heroes like OD, you just don't scale when you go Armlet into right-click items.
Yeah. The concern I have for TNC right now, though, is like the Omni's so far ahead up top. Just thanks to the Bane being there for the first couple minutes. I've talked about this a lot. Whenever you have a hero that can just secure a lane for 2 minutes and then the solo left there can dominate it by himself, that's a huge advantage. And mid lane, like, this DP is just suffering. I don't know if it matters, though, because they're not actually, like, gaining a significant advantage. As you said, the deny count isn't that high, and it's not like DP really cares too much. I think OD is much more level dependent than a Prophet is.
And with his Bane stopping by every now and then, Armel drops down to 10 damage. So he can't even trade effectively.
Well, the bounty runes come out. I like the play by by FY, making sure he torrents the bounty rune and then takes it from Tim's. That's a lot of gold swing. And even though it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade.
Top lane, you got Cuckoo in a bit of trouble, but no sleep skill thanks to Xnova, who, I didn't realize this, he used all 3 Mango's middle, spamming Enfeeble on the OD. Welcome to Dota 2.
It's efficient. I mean,
Please do not
it's real
take
cheap
that
now.
to your pubs, guys.
No,
it's only 210 gold now when you get that 3 health regen, you know, respective 1 per while you're waiting.
As much as it pains me to say it, you should bring that to your pubs because you will do a hell of a lot better than that Jungle Legion commander you still
0.6.
swear by. I know you're listening, Jungle Spammer.
We know you haven't given up yet.
No points in Moment of Courage. Or sorry, not Moment of Courage.
Overwhelming odds?
Yeah, overwhelming odds.
Yeah, nah. Nukes aren't any good in the early game anyway.
Well, not in the jungle, at least. 60%.
Those creeps. Okay, so we have the Underlord going back for a Soul Ring, so that means he pretty much intends to just farm for a long time. I think his job is pretty much going to be to defend this top lane, because Lycan and OD have no desire to be here, and I don't think he can really pressure towers all that well with Underlord this early on in the game, especially with Omni Knight having the start that he does. If Underlord attempts to rotate, I think Omni will just follow him.
On bottom, they're going to go on the ET. There's a Skywrath here as well. Open Wounds comes out. That's a DD Skywrath, actually. Wow. Well played by FY. Almost gets stunned by the neutral Centaur, but he'll be okay. And that's a rotation forced as well onto Cuckoo. Mid lane, still pretty even.
It's going pretty rough for Armel at the time. This Bane keeps walking by, enfeebling him, and going back to a side lane. It's really rude, but it's effective. This DP is suddenly back into this lane.
And there's literally nothing you can do. That is an undispellable ability, and
he's just,
as an OD, you're kind of just screwed.
He's right back in.
I don't know if we can really trust your mechanics on this one.
I'm sure that one's undispellable.
Yeah, I know. I actually agree this time, so.
Well, it's like the Crimson Guard, right?
Yes, exactly like
I get my information from the field, not by fiending Reddit. BSJ.
You trying to say something about Reddit?
No, I'll say that for later. Top.
Okay.
The thing I'm concerned about is that LGD's team fight throughout the mid game just seems easier to execute. There isn't really any BKB piercing damage from TNC. So yeah, later on in the game they get this Necro up. They're going to be in a nice spot, and the OD is going to crush. But he's having such a slow start. He's under leveled, and like FY has Arcanes. Like looking at the net worth, like OD's behind his Underlord, so even though his game is slowed down about as much as the Prophet's, like DP is very much more reliant on his kit, whereas OD is reliant far more on items.
You don't think this Lycan will be able to do enough damage to choose this BKB or anything? You don't think he'll be able to hit this Lifestealer right in the face?
Especially the HOD. Like all you got to do if you're Ame is save Infest for the HOD creep, and you will effectively never die to a Lycan that shapeshifts at you. But at the same time, it's also like just 200 free gold if you ever get it. So it kind of goes both ways. I really don't know if you want the Lycan playing into the Lifestealer, but like, how do you kill Omni Knight either? Like that's the thing is, I don't actually know how you kill any of LGD's cores. They have so much sustain, and all you have on TNC is the save of an Astral, but absolutely zero sustain whatsoever.
This Omni Knight's pretty much a dead hero for a while. Like you will not be able to touch him. I don't see how they kill him. Even when they get like level 6s on the supports.
Wouldn't that make him an alive hero? Like he might be I think he's a everlasting hero in a dead lane.
Okay. Well, the idea is that the dead hero creates this dead lane that the enemy team cannot approach.
Interesting analogy.
The alive hero. Okay, he is the alive hero. The everlasting alive hero, opposite of a dead hero. You're right.
Undying, you might say.
Undying. How do you kill that which is alive?
That's true.
I think that's how it goes.
We've got
Dude, this is so demoralizing. It's 9 minutes in. He's still just in field. Oh, mid lane. You got a DP ult as well. The Astral's on cooldown, so they can just dive this super hard. Boots, 7 stick, and a Fairy Fire.
TP by Sky.
He might survive. One more drain. A Silence comes out. OD Astral in 2 seconds. He's dead. And now I think Skywrath's in trouble too. But there's Lycan ulted. X comes out from Kunkka. There's going to be a Torrent as well. DP still alive, but no drains left. Has a stick. The Omni Heal comes out. He's not going to have another one, unfortunately. And this...
Might be a dead DP? No, I didn't.
Shapeshift is out now.
Fine.
Yep, he's perfectly
fine.
Is this the turn kill? Wow. They're probably going to walk right back mid.
That's...
Underlord sitting here to push out the wave.
Yeah. See, this is part of why I fear for TNC, because they just don't have the ability to make plays, and that has been their bread and butter for the entire history of this cuckoo captained squad is that their 3 and their 4 do shit the whole game, and then Armel and Raven are enabled to not only have strong laning phases, but then they can play around them throughout the mid game, and right now they just don't have that ability.
He's in a bit of trouble here.
He's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's going to be going the armlet, though, which I definitely agree with.
Gold for my chest.
And
both teams pinging the bounties.
Grant would be happy with that, although LGD does end up with all 4.
It's a lot of money in those support pockets.
Indeed, it's effectively 2 or 3 hero kills in gold to your team. Right? How much is it per at this level? It's like 75, right?
It's
Got the 5 minutes.
it's actually 80 gold each.
80?
Yeah, because it starts as 50 and it goes up 3 per minute. So it's 80 gold for each bounty.
80 gold each?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So 320 gold to the entirety of LGD.
Man, I might have underestimated just how incredibly effective bounties are now. Because if you think about it, tower pressure, if it ends up getting denied, you get nothing out of it. And there's, immediate infest onto the HOD creep. Boat coming in as well. This is a very in trouble Lycan.
Very dead.
Rage comes out late to ensure the Stomp can't help out, and that's a dead Lycan. Skywrath TP's in with an Arcane Rune, but he can do nothing but watch. That's pre-Armlet. Once he gets that, I don't even think Lycan can come back. And in the LGD suddenly crushing all 3 lanes, 4,000 gold ahead.
As me and Josh predicted, looking pretty good for TNC here.
It's really sad. It's a sad day.
Oh wait, they're dire. My
This
bad.
armlet
Sorry.
is actually on the way currently for Ame, so he's probably just going to continue sitting in this lane.
He's
pushing
going
it with
S and
this
Y,
Konko.
so he's not going for the Radiance as I predicted.
Is he going that
He's
right?
going for that early active
You guys,
build.
look, if you're going to backtrack, okay, you got to just do it, all right?
Okay.
No one will notice, all right?
Okay, exactly.
Man, it's just such a hard game. I don't know how you kill anyone. The other concern, you don't have any BKB piercing interrupt, right? So let alone doing damage, you can't stop Lifestealer Rage TP, which is, I'll say, I like this pick a lot more after seeing it obviously win the game for his team, because whenever there's no BKB piercing disable, you can't kill Lifestealer anymore. So we can threaten and also just play super aggressively
Mid
throughout the
boat
map.
was thrown out on Armel.
Yep.
He gets X'd.
He can
Got
astro
TP in
himself.
by this
Nice.
Lifestealer. Oh, he's too close. He's dead.
Oh,
anyway.
he actually used the open wounds on the creep.
We've got a whole team behind him though. Tim's with a big stomp.
Here comes TNC.
Oh,
Sleep
top.
dodge.
Wow.
GA comes out as well in the middle of the fight. Death Prophet running in. Drain's active. Still 2 more to go. Might try and chase down this Underlord, and he shall heal up on Omni, but you're going to just back away. That is probably the play. And we didn't... one other thing. 3 cores, all of whom have abilities to sustain themselves throughout the fight, plus a Kunkka. Damage reduction plus sustain. I feel like I've seen this story before.
And that's the 4-man shrine up here. These guys are just going to walk right back where they came from.
6K advantage is because all this was going down. The top tower died. I don't even remember when. I assume during the shenanigans bottom lane where they ended up getting a free kill on the Lycan. And I'm just really concerned where you have this scenario where Armel, the main playmaker for your squad, has been just neutered, enfeebled for 9 minutes straight.
Okay.
They have him back in this
Okay,
off
guys,
lane,
I'm
trying to get him some
What?
fun.
I'm back online. Check out
Really?
Lifestealer's quick buy.
Oh.
We're back.
I mean, I figure they're winning the game
Just-
by this much. It's probably
can't-
worth
it
it.
This is just as
yeah.
I predicted.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Right off
Armlet
the
into
get-
Radiance.
Yeah, right off the get-go.
Clip it.
I just feel like in this game, LGD's only possible issue is not scaling with the Lifestealer, and since they've secured their early game so drastically, I think it's okay that his impact will be slightly limited for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, I'd argue he has phase armlet, right? So he's still ahead of the game, and by the time they end up, TNC can catch up to him with their cores, he'll just have a relic.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a damage item. It gives him 65 right-click damage.
Yeah, I mean, what does TNC do to get back into this? Because right now, the way I see it is you need LGD to make a mistake, and you need to make some sort of play for Roche. But after the changes to Underlord, where you no longer deal that Q damage to him, I'm concerned that you're now all in on this Lycan being able to secure it for you, but you don't really have a medallion buyer. I don't think you'll have one at that point in the game. And he's not like he's very far ahead, so you're going to need like 30-plus seconds to take out a Roche, and I don't see LGD giving you one for free. Somehow Somnus is top of the net with charts 3-0.
That's what I was looking at.
After being dealt with in the mid lane, like with the Skywrath mage spam. Yeah, they're just collapsing on top lane. Lycan has nothing he can do here. He's just gonna have to force ult to run away, but he might not even be enough if they get the X off. They're not gonna find him though, it looks like. He's just sitting underneath this tower. I'm surprised they gave up that easily.
No, I think it's the right play. You can only lose this game if you overextend, and TNC's turnaround potential, like we saw in that mid lane, it didn't go so well for them, but like a stomp into an Earth Splitter.
I guess they don't really have reach, right? They just have counterplay potential.
Yeah. That's, I'd say, the main flaw of their draft. There's absolutely no reach on TNC.
They are getting all the bounties this time, though. So
a lot of danglers.
A couple hero kills worth in here. I mean, they are starting to get this recovery back on Armel, but I don't think he's going to be able to touch this lifestealer. He's going to be able to.
He could just get X,
repel, get X'd, anything.
Oh, he got X. Yeah, up top. Like Sam H got X before he got his ultimate off. Countered Underlord. Another reason why that pick kind of surprised me, to be honest with you. There's only 2 heroes in the game that can do that to you, the Kunkka and the Disruptor. And Kunkka's even easier. They are infested bottom so that he can save himself a TP. Oh my god, the preemptive Torn into the bow follow-up gets the Astral off, but don't think he's in much better of a situation when he comes out of this.
Nope, and there's still an X as well. Goes off on the OD, so they won't find him. Skywrath should be able to TP away. There's a sleep onto the HOD creep. I love that, actually. It's so much gold. Will Lycan eat another in time? No, he does not. He is too far away. So another 200 gold. Man, so much gold flooding in the pockets of LGD.
And you didn't like this Omni Knight pick.
What do you mean?
Okay. Talk about it later.
I don't necessarily like it, but then when you go the ET under, like, I don't know, man. I stand by if TNC is out of their comfort zone. Like, I was just praising them for always kind of following this formula to success, and then they kind of just change it up, and you're in a position now where you aren't able to make anything happen. You just have 5 heroes mid, just watching. You can't chase anybody. You're just chilling. In the meantime, Ame's shoving bottom, going for a Radiance. He's going to win this game with the BSJ build.
Raven's just farming with his ultimate right now.
So you're saying that's like not a surprise in the slightest that he's going to win this game. Kyle.
Bottom lane. He might catch the Skywrath. No, he won't. Mid lane. There's an X torrent onto the Underlord, but they're free to do this because how do you stop LGD? How do you catch them? You're praying that they walk into a pit stomp combo, and I just don't think LGD is going to make that mistake. We saw them play a 70-minute game against IGV. They obviously have the discipline to just maintain an advantage until they have just that critical mass necessary to just guarantee a victory. And I think this Radiance into a team fight, into a Roche, and then you'll probably see them start to pressure tier 2s.
There is Necro 1 up on this Lycan, but I don't think that even remotely compares to the 700 gold till Relic on Ame coming up here. He's just going to sit bottom. We've got 3 heroes TPing into that lane.
Trying to X him.
Gets it.
They get it, but he has the Astral, and now, yeah, dodges it. But Ame is just unkillable at this stage, and that's so easy to play when you're a carry player, and you just know that unless you walk into the enemy base, you're just not going to die.
They can look to defend this. LGD actually TPs 2 more to this bottom lane. They're going to smoke around. I like this play. If you're going to bring the whole team, you need to make sure you smoke. There's no vision up on TNC side, so they will not see this coming. Sentry goes down, but I don't know if that's going to matter. Sky Underlord zoned off from the tier 1. Ame's going to take that by himself, and there's an X. Immediate kill onto the Skywrath. Silence on 1. Underlord.
Tier 2 push as well.
Yep.
Free tier 1.
And I think they can even look to set up on other lanes with the Kunkka or Bane.
Yep, they always have the ability to infest into Kunkka
That's
TP.
exactly what Kunkka's doing, TPing mid, but the Skywrath or the OD is going to back off. They end up losing that tower, actually.
They would have got it if the Lifestealer TP'd first. He would have been able to deny, but it's okay. You'll take that if you're LGD.
Lycan put a huge wave top, but I don't think it's going to do nearly enough to take out this tower. He ended up backing out. He probably doesn't feel safe once he saw the TPs out of this bot lane.
Yeah, it's also just so like it's just. It's such a hard game. You have who does Skywrath play with this game? That's the other issue I have. When we saw LGD pick this hero, Liquid pick this hero, it's always with at least 2 setups, like an Axe, the Earth Spirit, Sand King, like some ability to just stun ult.
I mean, the hero can't do anything but kill other heroes. He can't touch creeps. It's just inefficient. So the only way you make him work is to, level your OD passive mid lane and then to give him all the setup he needs to dish out more damage than LGD.
They're smoked up in the mid lane. This is their chance. Chalice slept up. No repel. And it just doesn't
No,
matter.
but ET in some trouble. He's going to get torrented. In the meantime, here comes a life stealer.
Oh
He's going to rage, take him out immediately.
Lycan is just not winning that trade.
Now DP pops the ultimate. It's going to go in through.
Bane down for the count.
It's an X on Cuckoo.
They got him, but it's an immediate kill. I think you can maybe even turn to Roche here. It's just not necessary. Ame is close to Radiance, but at the same time, there's no Lycan ultimate, there's no Earth Splitter, so do you really fear anything? You have enough time on this DP ult to put a dent in, so you know what? Just go do it.
I want to point out that Sam H went for a Vanguard against Lifestealer. That's probably one of the worst carry heroes to go Vanguard against.
Death Prophet as well, right?
Yeah,
just more max
hero,
HP disable or drain.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that first item pickup at all. I think that if you're going to go a tankiness item, Vanguard is not the correct play here. But they're trying to stall it up with the ET stomps as well as the Firestorm damage. And they're actually a little bit scared here, apparently, on the side of LGD.
Another 200 gold for Ame.
He's living the dream right now. He's got the... Oh, they took it on the Bane. That was his Radiance.
He has it anyway, doesn't he?
He can sell the Quelling Blade and the Stout if he so chooses.
Oh, he's waiting. He's going to kill this Roche. He wants this 200 gold off
This is a bit risky, though. I don't think you do it because
TNC
can't Roche, So you'd rather let them get their cooldowns up and have the Radiance and take that fight versus force it now when you're just so close. And then you might be tempted to buy back, but you're just an armed life stealer, and you just, Skywrath in trouble. He actually just dies. The repel comes out, so the stomp is no longer a play. X as well onto the OD. He's going to Astral. The boat shall miss, but now you can set up the Astral. Yep, exactly on top of the Astral. The force away, but he still gets stunned. Now Bane comes in. He's going to land the grip. TP BKB. That's a kill on OD. The chase onto the Underlord. He gets X'd. Oh, they. TNC. Ame's not even there. He's just shoving top with his Radiance.
Lycan was just essentially a creep. I'm sure LGD were fully aware of the fact that he had none of his cooldowns up for that fight. He just had to stand on the outside and press his level 1 Hal.
And I think this is the way Ame wants to play, and I like that he went Radiance, not for any other reason than the fact that that's more of his playstyle. Radiance makes you more of a one position, while the other build makes you more of like an active carry, and Ame loves playing this way. He's one of the best at it. And now that he has this Radiance, that mischance in an AoE, you're never building an MKB on the OD. Lycan can't build it for summons. How else are you going to die?
And the way this game is played out, partly due to the draft, I think it's mostly the draft. Sam H and Tim's combined 0-4-0, and they have two. Obviously, they're losing the game. It doesn't take a professional to point that out, but
that's why you are able to point it out.
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
And I just don't want to see TNC play this next game without enabling their playmakers. You can't just throw two incredible playmakers on heroes that are forced to just essentially sit back and hope the enemy walks into their fire, because it's just not realistic. You will not win games against a team of the caliber of LGD by banking on them making critical errors. They just won't. They've played a clean game. Their draft makes sense, and like even the itemization, you have the Solar Crest on Omni plus a pipe. Like, who does Lycan kill? A Radiance, DP as Yule's BKB, and a plate mail. Like, they can actually just go high ground here. Kunkka's got Aether Lens level 12, so he's just playing super far in the back. FY just constantly hitting X torrents.
And they could just repel this Lifestealer, have him walk up on high ground, smack the tower,
then
and
rage.
use rage whenever a hero gets close. It's actually, you can't deal with it.
Yep, the counter push is insane though from TNC. So you're gonna need to actually like force a fight with your cooldowns, I think. And
rage is on Armel.
And he's just chunking. Oh, he's in trouble now because he's going to get torn boated.
There it is.
Oh, Hurricane Pike. Free int. It's the start of a new age. The ulti that does nothing.
Didn't do all too much.
BKB from OD though.
KB's, he's got the double drain up. This OD is very sad.
Yep, that's Dead Sky. Oh, he gets the Astral off just in time. So surprised that Silence actually missed him. Thought it clipped. In the meantime, Ame being held up by the urn. X-Nova still waiting in the back with grip prepared. Repel onto the Omni Knight. In comes Lycan though with the Necro 3. This could be a kill onto the Death Prophet. He has Yule still though.
I think if
that is a Necrobook 3, so
TNC go up this hill, they're just going to turn right back on him.
Got the Purge off on the DP. But
though, nice kill from Ame. He kills the Necrobook that would do damage through the Rage. He might go down here, but he is the one with Aegis. This might hurt TNC a lot more than it helps them.
That's
X-Nova still has grip from the side, perhaps?
30 int on the OD. That's their saving grace here,
but no
possibly, but
Skyra's just dead.
Trying to give him a glimmer of hope. Another Necrobook goes to Ame.
More urns for FY.
He's going to get...
long TP!
God, the long TP.
Oh, no. Oh, Armel.
That's GG.
Ping the Lycan for TPing first. That is not the dream here. And Sam H has the Crimson Guard, but that really doesn't do that much against Lifestealer and Omni Knight.
The Repel to follow, the Torrent on top. And as you said, the Vanguard, the Crimson Guard, doesn't mean anything against Radiance and Feast. Buyback on OD. Still with a grip on Bane. They see the XTP onto the Death Prophet, so we can come straight back, full HP, full mana. If you're LGD, I think you might want to just back here and just barrel down this lane when you have Death Prophet ult ready, but you can stay if you want.
We've got X Nova and FY.
Lycan has no
All
ulti.
the silence.
There's a boat out.
Force Steph.
Another buyback.
Stomp misses completely. DP with the Repel, and
He
like
still has BKB.
All you have to do is play around the Repels, the Rages, and the BKBs. Like as soon as TNC overextends, you
Here's
can
another
just pop
turn
some.
right here. This is what they just did. A
there's
little
the
bit slower paced.
BKB from the high ground. Lycan with his Necro Summit again, but once again, Lifestealer this time with the Infest takes out the red one. OD's gonna Astral, but now you have no grip still. ET with a buyback. Lycan now with ultimate, but no Necrobook. Skywrath is dead again.
No Infest,
Ame
though.
is in
No
a little bit of
rage.
trouble here, though.
Is he though?
Yeah, he really is.
Is he? Yes.
There it is.
Yeah, good call. Again by Kyle. This might be the turn potential
Here
that
comes
we
the Earth
need for
Splitter.
TNC.
Wow.
All these buybacks need to pay out
This
for
is
something.
it. Oh, my.
Holy moly, they're going down. That's another DP ultimate deployed. Second one of this fight. And he's repelled and solar crested. Quite tanky. Nothing they can do to him on the side.
buybacks
Instant
from
double
everybody.
buyback. They just went right back in here.
Yeah, they need Kunkka to be able to actually land any kills, and he's super far away, still shoving out that mid lane.
Oh,
The
he actually
Bane's
takes out
gonna
X
go-
Nova, who buys. Okay, now this is playing to win, baby. Let's go.
DP continuing to pressure, but he's
DP's
so low
dead.
now.
Oh
Heals
my God, he's
himself
gonna
in the air,
land
no
himself.
drains.
Oh.
Oh, the repel out quick with the silence. He has
Still-
a drain up in 3.
And Lifestealer just going ham.
Yeah,
he's
and
going
he's
right
right
to
back
nothing
in.
at this
Ame.
point.
He has open woods. Yeah, he does. Oh
He
no,
knew he was
Lycan.
going to use that
Did the
buyback.
deer.
Raven's dead. Ame with the buyback into triple
Oh,
kill.
God.
This should secure the racks. In the meantime, Chalice still alive on a sliver of HP and mana. Once again, you see Lifestealer
He's got
taking out the
open
Underlord. The
wounds.
grip
Not even
immediately
needed.
canceled by X Nova, but he didn't need that anyway. Here comes the X onto Chalice. Nope. Oh, he got it. Wow, he got it. So now you just continue to pressure. Omni Knight's going to come back. Does he buy a new item? Yes, he does not, but he buys a couple of salves
like
for his homies.
Ame pings this mid wave. They've got creeps already at the tier 2. They're just going to start smacking away.
This is just relentless
I think-
pursuit.
I think that game against IGV might have changed LGD's mentality a bit. They're like, all right, we've had enough of playing safe. When we are in this position where we feel like we can win the game, let's just all buy back. And
There
get
was
it
a
done.
game against Vici where they had
buybacks was
Troll,
that?
and there was an option for the Troll and one other hero to buy back and end that game. And they chose not to and ended up losing the game later. And I feel like maybe this isn't a game where they necessarily get outscaled based on what's happening. But why give up any space to a team when they were potentially going to wipe you on the side of TNC? Instead of giving them that chance, you just say, we're going to buy back every single hero on our team that dies, and we're just going to take a lane of racks this early on. And a hero like Lycan, OD, these heroes do not clear waves. They do not want those Raxes to be gone this early in the game. Like certain heroes like Kunkka, Core, and stuff like that, they don't mind nearly as much. But TNC looking pretty grim, 24-5, down 21,000 gold, 28 minutes in. And I don't think Lycan's traditionally the comeback hero that you're looking to have in these type of games.
No, I would say not. He wants to play ahead, exert pressure on the map, but he just hasn't had the chance to do so. Raven just kind of had no game. It felt like no one on TNC really had a game, and even worse, no one was in a position where they could help out their teammates. There's just no real plays to make once you fall behind. It's just literally, hey, please walk into us. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the most miserable Skywrath games I've seen in quite some time. Like, I feel for Cuckoo because I don't know what he does in this game.
He could really use some Cocoa Puffs right about now.
How long were you waiting for tease that one?
It's been brewing this entire game.
It was
Finally,
worth the wait.
Kyle
Worth the
alley-ooped me
wait.
there.
We've got, for some reason, this OD has a blink queued up right now. Do you think that'll even? I don't think that'll help him do anything. He's just got it in his inventory now.
You
Did he
need to
not wanna-
BKB to even have a prayer in this game, I would say.
He's just gonna blink in and get killed. I mean, he can blink out of Astral at least. So now when he gets in those situations where Torrent might come out, I think he can play safer. But
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think it's gonna turn the tides of any fight coming up.
I would agree. Yeah, Lycan playing with trees at the bottom side of the map. Very afraid. I think if you're LGD, just go kill some shrines. Wait for next Aegis. It's going to spawn in 27 seconds to 3 minutes 20 seconds. You take that, you put a cheese on your Death Prophet and Aegis on your Lifestealer, and then you just kind of go to work.
I think this has been pretty much flawless itemization by Chalice this game. Like, he just knows, like, Solar Crest against 2 heroes that can't build MKBs, Shiva's against 2 heroes that don't naturally build attack speed. And looking pretty grim.
Hey, never say never.
Never
What
say
does
never.
TNC have to do to get back into this game?
We should ask
PSG.
Justin Bieber.
Josh.
Wait. Well, I'd say they have to do exactly what they did before, where they get LGD to get a little greedy, all stand on top of each other, catch a 3-man pit into Stomp, into the ET ulti, and then there's a chance. So that's about the only condition in which TNC has the ability to come back in this game.
And Ame just comes out and kills the Skywrath Mage.
Well, he's not part of the formula, so they still
Yeah,
have a
he
chance
was not
here.
in that equation.
So they still.
This is all set up. False sense of security for TNC, giving LGD that idea that they can go high ground without Aegis.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I like it. Just throw your body at them. Just say, hey, guys, push. You don't need Aegis. Just do it over and over. I'd like him to go die again.
Yeah.
Continue to bait them into the base.
Yes.
Exactly.
Dangle.
them. There it is.
In the only way that you know how.
It is.
When in doubt, you must dangle. And in this game, like, again, as you said many times, there was plenty of dangle, but nobody available to tangle.
And I
Well,
heard
it takes two to tango.
Yeah. He stole my
my.
line. Dude, all I'm offering this entire cast is some one-liners, and Josh just
You've got the beautiful insight. I'm sorry, sir. That's
just whips it out on me right
You're
there.
like a
Just dangling.
semi-professional player.
I watch BSJ
Loosely
stream
defined.
more than I watch
Loosely
your stream,
defined
to be fair.
semi-professional player
That's true.
reporting in here.
BSJ streams are the best, though. I mean, how can you not get enough of some guy dying 8 times and yet still somehow finding a way to blame his support?
It's truly
I
an
can't
art.
get enough of it.
I'm not going to lie. It's truly an art. You have to get creative at some point because it's not black and white anymore. You can't just say the guy did this. You have to come up with why he made your game harder to play and indirectly caused you to die
Yep,
those 8 times.
he distracted you, so you were typing.
Yes.
And then you walked out of position, didn't BKB, and died.
I was so frustrated at his pulling mechanics that I couldn't possibly lane correctly. And, I mean, if that's what's happening in the game, it's...
Yeah, you got to call him out. I agree, BSJ.
Yep. Thank you. It's the only thing holding me back.
I mean, just imagine that you're Sam H in this game. You know?
Yeah.
Who is it that you're flaming right now?
I mean, I'd have to say my Skywrath Mage. Why haven't you ganked this Lifestealer yet? Why have you not killed this Omni Knight, you know? We told you you're the ganking hero. We gave you half of a setup with the Elder Titan Stomp. Go do your thing.
Well, now it looks like there's actually some Dota to be played. They're no longer just farming out the jungle.
Okay,
They're running
Roche
into
is up,
Roche.
time is up.
There's a haste rune right up next to this pit. Have a feeling they're going to finish this, throw that on the Lifestealer, and see what they can do.
And they're just doing all the little things right. You've got a gem on the Kunkka. Shiva's finished on the Omni Knight. DP with the Shivas as well, because why not? Lifestealer going AC. Just control the armor and play around your BKB and Repel, because as long
TNC's
as
got
you
a
don't die to
stun.
Lycan, you don't die to anything else.
I like the builds coming up from Kunkka going for that Octarine core. Oh, they actually break the
They saw
smoke
it.
on this infested Gary. This is Gary the Golem,
Oh, yeah.
inspired
no.
by
That's
none other
the
than
Slacks.
Slacks himself.
Yep. And you can't do anything about this because you don't do any real physical damage. You're just going to follow the Elder Titan. This is great.
This is the one way to secure Roche in 2018. And Ame
They're
comes
leaving
out,
the
just
pit.
finishing him off. He tries to get the the Underlord ulti off, and oh my god, they ulted to a creep behind. The old reach around.
Oh, wow.
Wow, we're citing the
Oh,
Pledge of
Lycan's going to ult
Allegiance.
in. This could be
TNC.
sick, but uh-oh. Like, you got to run the other way, guys. Repel comes out onto the Omni Knight. All you have to do now is just outlast. Lycan ult's going down. Skywrath's going to just die in 4 shots. OD's going to be astraled, but I'm not sure he's going to make it out of this one alive. We shall see. He gets the blink away. There you go. Josh with a
There it
nice
is,
quick
there it
cast
is,
blink.
yeah.
It pays for itself.
Man, LGD is just too beefy at this point. TNC tried to make that backstab play there, and then they got met with an Omni Lifestealer walking up the hill at them. At
Yeah.
that point, they can't do anything.
See,
One's repelled, one's raged. OD looks at them a little funny and has to book it. Like, there's no response.
It's nice. Like, the thought is great, but LGD is just not. LGD is a good Dota team, all right? And as long as they know where TNC is and they run at them as a wave, they are effectively a tsunami.
the
all
star
right?
formation.
They are Geostorm, and the satellite that would save TNC is currently malfunctioning.
I would like to point out that there was a Golem that was hurt in the production of this victory.
Rest in peace,
and,
Gary.
and I think
Poor
that LGD
is heartless right now.
That's true.
I think that they are not letting up at all, and they're just bringing others down with them as they do it. You know.
What do you guys think about the way they've played, though, right? Because they get that Rax, and they just wait for it. They've effectively had a Rax for, 10, 15 minutes at this point?
They know
the
this
game
game
is
gets
still
no harder.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, do you think this is healthy? Is this what we want, where a team as good as LGD is and as far ahead as they are, I don't disagree with them that they need to wait for this. They need to get the second Roche if they really want to guarantee a victory.
Where's the excitement?
The entirety of Dota recently has just been enormous leads into a high ground push too early, into a throw, and then the comeback mechanic is too strong, and all
that's
of a sudden
enjoyable.
I mean, it's fun to cast, fun to watch, but definitely not fun to be a player on the losing side.
Yeah, you know.
And I'm sure LGD, they're a good enough team. They've had those losses. They don't want to make that
I think they
happen
realize
again.
that they'd rather have the game end at 45 minutes reliably than have it where they throw it and end up winning the game at 70 like we saw
sure.
earlier
I
today.
agree. I'm not arguing with whether their decision is correct. I think it is. I'm just saying, is this what we want, where this is what you're forced to do to close out a game effectively?
Are you saying the meta is a problem then?
We do have these bi-weekly
This is not what I
patches,
enjoy watching
to come out.
personally, but I think I agree with you
Whoa.
that they have the discipline with the
Look.
X Siege as well.
Just because
and
you don't enjoy it, BSJ, it doesn't mean you got to take away from the entertainment value. This game could still go TNC's
Yes,
way.
This is their
popping
last
ulti
fight.
and running right back in their face with Repel. They can't do anything.
ET
to him
splitter
at the
onto
moment.
2. Oh my god, this Nightmare almost dodges it. BKB out on the OD. They have the Crimson Guard activated. Fortification. There's a word in the English language. Somnus gets the kill on the Wolves. And this tower is down while Thames looks for the two-man stomp in the back. The Omni Knight is disabled, but what does that mean? I don't know.
Boat on
Please
top
tell
of the
me, Kyle.
Astral. Force away from the Elder Titan, but in the meantime, a repelled Death Prophet still pushing down the
Summon's
Mid-Rax. He has a
still with
refresher, by the
BKB
way, and an
refresher
Aegis. Yeah.
He's unstoppable right now. And they're
Round
going to
2?
turn. Is this another rendition of back and they chase?
BKB from the Death Prophet. He's going to pop another ultimate. He has another BKB available if necessary. They buy back on the Elder Titan. Somnus still with the BKB, but hey, it's a repel. You're fine. Rage cooldown on Ame in 2 seconds. Then he'll take his turn running at TNC, forcing them back to the sanctity of their tier 4s. In the meantime, Somnus still just pressing down towers. He's going to drain. Oh, blinks the silence from Armel. The pit onto the Omni Knight. He's silenced. He has a cheese and a pipe.
Oh.
Mana burning OD ultimate.
Ame, rage down. You're going to have to back away. Shivas comes out. A grip on somebody? Where the hell was that? Raven actually taking out the backline. I didn't even see him. He BKB'd. He runs straight at Kunkka. Somnus is going to catch a stomp. No, just kidding. It's Omni Knight and Lifestealer. They're in a bunch of trouble. There's a huge silence from Somnus, though, on all three. Still, no, Ultimate has faded. In the meantime, a Torrent catches on Armel. He's going to go down. He had BKB there, but no buyback. Boat coming back in. Tim's no buyback. He's going to go down. Cuckoo is going to go down.
Somnus just did all that still with Aegis and BKB in his inventory.
But like they are playing super well, never overcommitting, constantly just shuffling through who's doing damage to the buildings, who's going to BKB and bully and zone the TNC lineup just away from the rest of their vulnerable heroes. I think Raven makes a good play. He backstabs, takes out the Bane, but does that even matter at a certain point? You've already lost 2 racks, the third on its way down, crumbling. This is not the comfort zone for TNC. I think that does this game not demonstrate it?
No, I mean, LGD very much just controlled and dominated that game. They really let TNC know, especially after that whole team, nearly their entire team buyback and running right back in their face. It really just showed, kept TNC on their heels, kept them responding pretty much the entire game, straight out of the laning phase. And I don't think that when your OD and your Lycan get shut down the way they do, I just don't think there was any way that they could have come back.
Yep. I agree 100%. I think the laning phase went about as well as you can expect. From LGD, I think they did exactly what they wanted to do, and as cheesy as it is, that is why I think Bane will forever be a top tier pick, even going all the way to TI, if Enfeeble specifically is not changed.
Or denies at least, or something about the early laning stage or level 1.
Exactly, I agree with exactly that, which is simply if the game itself is not changed, the thing I want to see more than anything else is for denies to not be worth as much as they are.
It's the 25%, right?
You effectively trade experience. So if I miss my deny, you get 100% of that experience. But if I get that deny, I get 25, you get 25. Effectively, that creep does not exist for you. And when you're playing Enfeebled, like he's winning the game for his team by just spamming an ability on OD. And I'm not going to say it's like it feels like I'm a 9-year-old, right? Saying, "Oh, that's so cheap." But what do you do? It's an undispellable ability that he spams on your core with 4 mangoes. And for 4 minutes straight, he's going to do this over and over and over. He's going to then TP back or shrine and continue to do it. He was doing it all the way up to like the 10-minute mark in that game. How do you feel like you've really been beaten?
I mean, I'm sure they thought the answer was, that you saw them skill the Aura level 1, put the Skywrath mid. I'm sure maybe they had the idea that this Skywrath will be able to spam this DP, and then if this Bane comes around, he could deal with him.
But it doesn't matter because you can't last hit. It's not giving you that last hit advantage like Enfeeble does. And I strongly feel like if the deny mechanic was tweaked to not be so incredibly punishing, where to the point where like even that top lane, right? As soon as Omni has an advantage, thanks to the Bane, like they're 4,000 something gold ahead simply because they're winning top and mid.
And that was all one hero pushing Q.
Yeah, they're winning. They won all 3 lanes. Let's be real. And when you win all 3 lanes, you have a draft like that. It's easy to succeed. But I stand by if denies were giving 50% XP, 66% XP, something reasonable. I don't think you would see games get out of hand this quickly. But whenever you're TNC's draft, you have to play the back foot. You're a more defensive lineup. As soon as you lose the lanes, you've lost the game. And it took a while, but that was just a methodical. That was watching like, I don't know, an anaconda stalk its prey and then slowly suffocate the poor little meerkat for like 30 minutes.
And it certainly
there's no hope.
Want none, unless you got barracks, Hun. No, you're not going with that one. Fair enough. I thought you would take that at least, Brian. Come on.
I can't.
Good try.
I try not to associate myself with you. Whenever
okay, that's good.
Go on these.
Or the English language, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I just like Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I think he's gonna make a comeback this game.
agree.
I think TNC, like you said, they just played out of their style. And despite the fact that we knew from the get-go that draft was poor by TNC, I think that they
predicted. Somebody better call these guys out for this. This is unbelievable.
Please, just delete the recording of the drafting stage for this game. I feel like TNC just needs to say, okay, we had no option to make plays. We gave them 2 magic immune heroes and a DP, and we picked no aggression. And I was shocked they didn't pick a stun in their last hero to fit with the Skywrath Mage. And I just think that these type of teams, sometimes they get like psyched out by the fact that they're playing against like LGD.
Yeah.
And they just forget sometimes. It's amazing what I've realized is that in the drafting stage, how easy it is to sometimes just overlook the basics that you're used to including in all your drafts.
And to your point, I failed to realize, like, TNC, out of all the teams left in this tournament, really has the most to play for.
Yeah.
Because they still have the same roster that could qualify to TI. I believe if they were even top 3 at this major, I think they would move into a position to get a TI invite. Certainly if they were to win, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that they have the potential to do so, but, I mean, LGD keeps playing like this, it's going to certainly be difficult, so... anything you'd like to add, Josh, before we can send it to a break?
I don't have all too much, man. I'm just looking for a game 3. It's not late enough in the day. I want to get to that delirium state where we're having fun hype casting. I think it's time. And now, no, I think it's real dark. So I think now that it's.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We're gonna send it to a break we're gonna send it to a break for a little bit, but in the meantime, stare intimately into the eyes of my 2 co-casters. Thanks for watching. We'll be back very shortly with Game 2 between LGD and TNC.